Okay, let me tell you one story. There was a boy who was very popular among others his age. And this boy was an excellent leader in school groups. So one day, one of his friends visited him and saw a homemade plaque in his room with the words, "I am third," meaning to say third. I am third on it. And his friend asked him what it meant, and he replied, "You know, it is the motto I try to use in my life. It means God is the first, others are seconds, and I am third." Now, if you want to be my disciples, carry your cross and come after me. But it's not easy, because particularly in verse 26, if anyone comes to me without turning his back on his father and mother, his wife and his children, his brothers and sisters, indeed is very well, he cannot be my disciples. You know, when we hear the gospel passage like this, we often find ourselves wondering whether Jesus really meant that we should turn our backs on our families, or was he exaggerating? You know, it is really necessary to hate and abhor our parents, family, brothers and sisters, and even ourselves in order to follow him. If we do this, then of course, our beloved ones get angry. "Mom, I hate you. Dad, I hate you because I want to become disciples of Jesus." We got a problem, right? But it is not easy to explain. Jesus was neither exaggerating nor literally. Rather, he was engaging, listen, in poetic, I will repeat, in poetic expression to emphasize the kind of dedication he expected from his followers. And this we're saying in Jesus Collected, particularly in the Gospel of St. Luke, the theme of dedication. Can you say it again? Dedication. Good, with Filipino accent, okay? Dedication. So the phrase, "no turning back," used in our gospel has no negative meaning, but it has positive implication. And this is the point, meaning God must come first no matter what. Amen? God is above anyone else. And that is the message of Jesus. We must love God more than others, even more than our parents, family, brothers and sisters. How? Because if there's God in you, you can easily love your parents. You can easily forgive those person who offended you. You can easily understand because there's always God in you. Amen. And that is what Jesus is telling in today's gospel. God is above anyone else. And what is the fruit? Let's take a look what is the first commandment. And it's found in Exodus chapter 20, verse 2 and 3. I will repeat. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2 and 3. "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me." Meaning, this commandment emphasized the importance of worshiping only God and rejecting idolatry. And now, in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37-38, Jesus said, "Okay, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And this is the greatest and first commandment." Therefore, God is above anyone else. And yet, the fourth commandment says in Exodus 20, verse 12, "Honor your father and mother." And Jesus telling us, if anyone comes to me without hating his father and mother, wife and children, brother and sister, and even his own life, cannot be my disciples. Now the challenge is, this is the second point, how can we reconcile these seemingly contradictory demands? Or how can we hate those we are supposed to love, and why? And the answer is this: God is not competition with our family, no. With our parents, brothers, and sisters for our love. He states very clearly, however, that God comes first in our lives. Nobody and nothing become His rival, meaning give God the first place. On the other hand, assure us that we will practice true love to all people and give each person his rightful place. So going back to my story that I've shared to you, God is the first, who is the second, and who are the third? We. So therefore, give God what is right and not what is left. Amen? Can you repeat after me? Give God what is right and not what is left. Amen.